Hi again. Hey, you know what's interesting is during this time I've seen a lot of my friends, pastor friends, posting different videos online as well, and I think it's great because I think in times like this, every congregation member needs to hear from their own pastor. And I've also noticed that many of these pastors are really skilled as musicians. There's one guy in particular that I know down in North Carolina that keeps playing these beautiful songs that he's putting out, these videos and encouraging people that way. And I just find myself thinking, Guy, I wish I had that kind of talent to be able to pull this off. But, we do the best we can. And so anyway, I wanted to share this song with you because this is a song, contemporary Christian music has really changed quite a bit over the last few years. And lots of us who grew up playing guitar and leading youth groups learned songs that today are kind of laughed at because they're campfire songs, right? But this was one of those songs that I remember, and I remembered singing it, and I remember loving this song before I even knew that it came from Scripture. And so maybe you'll know it, and I'm going to do my best to try to sing it. It's actually been a little while since I've done this song, but let me try it. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning, new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness, O Lord. Great is thy faithfulness. Just love the words of that song, and like I said, just this idea for me. I remember singing this in different times during my ministry, and the words are just so nice. This steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. This idea that they're new every morning, that every day starts brand new. Such absolute words of hope that God's faithfulness is great. I mean, it really, truly is such an uplifting and wonderful song of praise. And it does, as I said, come directly from Scripture. The thing that was odd to me was it wasn't until much later in my growing up and my maturing in faith that I discovered where this passage came from in Scriptures. I'm going to read you the verse that inspired it, then I'm going to tell you where it came from. Some of you may already know this. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore, I will hope in him. That's that passage right there. You heard it. It's exactly what that song says. Now, here's the thing. It comes from Lamentations. It comes right in the middle of the writer's laments, of their loneliness, of the fact that they feel as if God has abandoned them. It comes right in the midst of the writer's laments of their pain and their suffering. And right there in the middle of this book that we know as Lamentations are these words of hope. In many ways, that makes the song even more powerful to me. I mean, it was a great song of hope, but to know that it is a song of hope that comes in the midst of a soul that is crying out in the midst of suffering and pain and lamenting at all the difficulty that they are experiencing in life. Wow, it is an amazing thing. If I would have started at the verse right before, because it's right there in the midst of all of this, this person, this author writes, "But this I will call to mind, and therefore I have hope, the steadfast love of the Lord." You see that? It's right there in the midst of it all. And so I hope that in the midst of whatever it is that you individually are going through, in the midst of what we are going through as a nation, In the midst of what we are facing right now, even as a church, we will not forget that lamenting is fine. Sometimes we need to lament, but we also need to be reminded of God's steadfast love that is new every morning. And so my hope and prayer is that you will be able to experience that steadfast love sometime in the next 24 hours or so. Again, thanks for listening. Bye.